Well, people, the Sheep Detective. This is the brand new film from Kyle Balda. It is written by Craig Mazin. We have production from Tim Bevan, Lindsay Doran, Eric Fellner. There is executive production from Sarah Jane Wright, Tim Wellspring, Adia Sood, Christopher Miller, Phil Lord, right, Amelia Granger, and we have got animation production from Tyson Hess. So Christopher Beck took care of the score. George Steele handled cinematography. We've got Martin Walsh and Paul McAleese editing the piece. Lucy Bevan and Emily Brookman were down with all the casting. Susie Davis is production design. Art direction, we have Caroline Barkley, Jasper Fitzgerald, Eleanor Reel Davis, Nico Sadori, and Polly Stevens. Set decoration is Charlotte Drix. Rosa Diaz was costumes wardrobe. Right, hair and makeup, we have Francesco Albasio, Sally Alcott, Emma Bailey, Anita Berger, Honor Connolly, Grace Davis, Dana Deegan, Sean Flanagan, Haley Ford, Alex Holmes, Alicia Ledette Williams, Sharon Martin, Naeem Olun, Julio Pardee, Caroline Sims, Anita Stevens, Sam Walker, Pamela S. Westmore, Angie White, and Francis Darvell White. On stunts, we've got Benjamin Ashley, Andrew Burford, Rachel Elvin, Mark Henson, Paul Kensington, Tilly Rose Kensington, Adam Kiani, Freddie Mason, Chris Morrison, David Newton, Andy Pilgrim, Craig Teague, Stephen Whiteley, and Lee Wilson. Which leads us to our cast, right? So, as George Hardy, our shepherd, we've got Hugh Jackman. Right, our sheep, right? So Cloud is voiced by Regina Hall. Sir Richfield is Patrick Stewart. Ronnie, Reggie, Brett Goldstein. You got Zora by Bella Ramsey. Mopple, Chris O'Dowd. Walleyes, Rhys Darby. Sebastian is Bryan Cranston. Lily is Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Daisy is Arup Shergill. Oliver is Jasper Ambrose. Pickles is Ishi Agrawal. The Winter Lamb was Tommy Birchall. Okay, Caleb Merrow is played by Tosin Cole. Ham Gillard is Conleaf Hill. Beth Pennock is Hong Chow. Officer Tim Derry is Nicholas Braun. Reverend Hillcock is Koba Holbrook Smith. I did think it was him, right? Like usually Koba, you know what I mean? You most know him a lot of the times from his audio narration. Does a tremendous job with the Rivers of London books, people. Definitely worth checking out. Elliot Matthews is played by Nicholas Galtazine, aka Adam, right? Prince of Eternia. Postwoman Joe is played by Mandeep Dillon. Tona the Tonya, the tow truck driver, is played by Sarah Flynn. Fainting Sheep was voiced by Laraine Newman. Rebecca Hampstead, played by Molly Gordon. Lydia Harbottle was the great Emma Thompson. Right, Frank, the county police officer, is Michael Wildman. Yeah, I think that's our main lot of people, really, right? I believe. So the gist of the film. In this witty new breed of mystery, George is a shepherd who reads detective novels to his beloved sheep every night, assuming they can't possibly understand. But when a mysterious accident disrupts life on the farm, the sheep realize they must become the detectives. As they follow the clues and investigate human suspects, they prove that even sheep can be brilliant crime sleuths. So yes, this is the film, people. Now, obviously, this isn't necessarily aimed at me. And yeah, it's not my type of film, really, right? Not because it's not done well. I did think the acting was pretty decent. You know, there's always something about Emma Thompson is always great, right? There's just something she brings to the screen. You know, she's a lot of fun. And, you know, a lot of the other characters, I think, work. You know, a lot of them work, and the sheep are amusing and everything like that. So that was all, you know, we get these flashback scenes to kind of fill out like other parts of the story, and it seemed to work, right? I would say there was some kids in the screen. They were laughing, their parents were laughing. So this film, I thought it worked well for the target audience. Like, my thing with this, and because it is an adaptation, I should also say that, right? It's an adaptation of a 2005 book from Leonie Swann, right? The book's Three Bags Full. Yeah, supposedly, right? Written in German and translated into over 30 languages because it just blew up, which is impressive. You know what I mean? But as you see, it's, you know, it was written for kids, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But the film felt mad simple, you know? And obviously, look, I'm not expecting it to be, you know, like an intricate Sherlock Holmes novel, right? Or Dune Messiah, right? And then you get into the last bit and the dominoes fall and you're like, oh my God, that happened, right? That person's the murderer. Oh, but the sheep weren't even sheep. You know, they were rabbits in disguise. Boy, right? You know what I mean? Look, I'm not expecting anything like that. But I do find sometimes with like kids stuff that they really dumb it down, right? It just always feels mad simple. And I know as a kid that that wasn't really my thing, right? I liked the stories that didn't try and treat me like I was, you know, dumb, right? It wasn't just like, well, after A, you get B. Then, you know what? You get C, right? Like, come on now. We don't have to do that, right? And this can all be just me, right? You know what I mean? Because as I said, the people on the screen were laughing and having a lot of fun. And, acting was decent. Like just the way it's all put together, the animation, the sheep, just all of these things, I thought worked. But it's just, I just wish, a lot of the times with these things that they kind of just treated, the kids like they had a bit more wherewithal, But, as I say, it seemed to work with the audience. They're having fun. So, yeah, we're all good, We are all good. But, yeah, I think the film seems to be doing well. Right? So I don't know if there's sequels, but I guess even if there's not an actual book sequel, they can still do it for the screen, right? Like with Devil Wears Prada 2. I don't believe there was a Devil Wears Prada 2 book, but we got a second film. So I think that can work. And with the film, because Kyle, he's done a lot of animated films. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the Minion films, right? He's done, I don't know, like 4 of those, 5 of those, right? He's done a Despicable Me. I think the third one. I think the Minions came from Despicable Me. If I'm correct, I've not watched those films, people. So apologies. But I think so, right? It doesn't really matter, does it? No. But anyway, yes, he's done a lot of those things, which I think you do see in his direction style, right? And, he's used to telling those stories for kids, so it works. Right? I think he was probably a great choice for this, and it works, So, yeah, I think if you enjoyed those films, if your kids enjoy those films, maybe they enjoyed the book if you've read it to them, or they've just picked it up and read it themselves, depending on the age of the kid, I guess. But, yeah, if any of those things hit the mark, then the Sheep Detectives, I imagine, will work well for you, and it's currently doing its thing in a cinema. I imagine close by. So go check it out. The Sheep Detectives.